The 21st century is home of the successful startup, and in the last 10 years, we've seen some massive valuations among these companies. Most are involved with technology, like ByteDance, Airbnb, Robinhood, and Epic Games. And most of them either call the USA or China their home. But what about the rest of the world? Well, today our focus is on Mexico, which recently gave birth to their first unicorn business, Kavak. But what's strange is the simplicity of the business. It's not a software company, nor a social network. It's a car sales website. But how did it achieve unicorn status? And for starters, what even is it? Here's how it happened. Kavak is a vehicle buying and selling website that automates paperwork and financing whilst also reconditioning the cars it sells, and is now the leading company in the purchase and sale of pre-owned cars in Mexico. The idea is that the customer gets a quality vehicle, there's no hassle with paperwork, and they know what they're buying is the real deal, which can sometimes be a problem in Mexico. The business was co-founded in 2016 by Carlos Garcia Tati, Roger Laughlin, and Lorian Garcia in Mexico City, with the trio launching their business with just 3 vehicles. 1 year later, they opened the largest vehicle reconditioning center in the country, based in Lerma, and now have another in Guadalajara. By reconditioning the cars, they fix everything that's wrong or broken so that the car is ready to be driven away and looks good as new, or near enough. And 4 years after it was founded, the company attracted the attention of a number of investors, raising in excess of $400 million from the likes of Softbank, DST Global, and Green Oaks Capital, which valued the business at $1.1 billion, the first in Mexico to achieve such a feat. You might be wondering why a used car sales business managed to attract such a lofty valuation. But when Kavak Ventures, one of Kavak's largest shareholders, suggested that the Mexican and Brazilian used car market is worth $160 billion and Kavak are the first in line to take a slice, all of a sudden the valuation is understandable. The massive market is heavily underserved, and so investors are playing the long game. The business is considered to be the best in the region because by using an algorithm, they're able to offer sellers a fair price in seconds based on real-time market data, and they'll only buy the car if it passes their 240-point mechanical inspection and legal checks, which only 1 out of 3 cars pass. And for the buyer, they offer fair prices, quality, a 3-month warranty, and a 7-day return policy, as well as helping people to access financing and insurance. But when we think of unicorn companies, we normally think of technologically focused and therefore incredibly scalable businesses. That being, the company could serve 100 or 1 million people with few extra costs. But this is where we take another step back to think of Kavak's valuation. Their business model is the reconditioning of cars and a website through which to sell them. Whilst Kavak's website is easy to navigate and use, that's not really a game changer, given that that is what's expected of every website. But where Kavak is hindered is that out of their 800 employees, 700 are employed to recondition cars. This means that as the business grows to new regions to satisfy growing demand, their costs will have to rise dramatically to continue to recondition cars in order to be able to sell them on. So, is it really a scalable business? But then again, we have to remember that the business has solved a key problem involved with the sale of used cars, especially in emerging markets, which is the safety and security of making the transaction and making sure the customer is receiving a high quality and working vehicle in return. With the virus sweeping the world, most people would assume that there is consolidation and fewer people are buying cars. But demand is now returning to pre-pandemic levels as buyers want to find a way to avoid public transport, and what better way than by car? With the goal of expanding through South America, with a focus on Brazil and Argentina, the company acquired Checkers and plans to invest $10 million over the next 2 years to improve their infrastructure, technology, and catalog. But what's the end goal? Well, like most startups, the owners of Kavak hope that the business will turn a profit over the next few years and might even go public in 3 years. That remains to be seen, as with growth comes large capital expenditure, which reduces the likelihood of profit. And while Softbank have helped other unicorns get to where they are in the region, like Loggi, Gympass, and Rappi, the company are known for overvaluing businesses and overinvesting. Just look at WeWork. But for now, Kavak has first mover advantage in an underserved industry which will revolutionize the way that vehicles are bought and sold. Thanks for watching.